Hello, making a video with a beautiful, beautiful heart-shaped rock. And I was watching Gracie K's ASMR videos last couple of days, and they are very, very tingly. They give me the most tingles from all the ASMR videos on the internet, and I highly recommend them to people. Check out Gracie K on YouTube and subscribe to her if you want to. Those videos are absolutely stellar, and they make you very, very relaxed and sleepy. It's very great. I love this here when people do this here. This is a very, very tingly trigger. When they do something like this near the camera, this is rock or a brush or just the hands. Healing sessions, those are the most tingly ones. So this is part 3 of my series, Leonard Stecyk. And I will make many more to come in the future. Probably going on people's nerves now. But it is an ongoing debate inside of myself on what it is about this phenomenon that people have to take pain medicine to deal with being around someone who is super kind-hearted and caring and giving. I really do want to know why. I need to ask Teal Swan because I know she has the answer for it. She can see to the very bottom of every person's psyche, of every person's soul, of every person's mind. So I would like to ask her. Maybe I get the chance in a chat or something. That'd be really awesome. She has chats sometimes on Facebook. I have to check that, see. I need to ask her this question. This is really troubling me. What is it with that people? Why do people feel so horrible around someone who is really giving and kind-hearted and generous and all of this? What is this? So, my husband doesn't seem to agree with that, but I have observed this over and over again, and then David Foster Wallace writes about it in those passages about Leonard Stecyk, that kind-hearted, caring, generous, giving boy. But then he writes about him also later when he entered into the IRS and worked as a tax consultant. It's interesting. I don't mind ever, I don't ever mind having a boyfriend who is working for the IRS, just because it has a reputation of, or an association with dorkiness, or not being hipster enough, not being cool or elegant enough, or whatever. I don't care. As long as the person is super kind, like Leonard Stecyk. I'm never, ever going to get involved with violent people. I've done that in the past out of simple naiveness, out of total ignorance, but I will not do that again. We learn from our mistakes. So, Iranian man has beaten me. It's never gonna happen again. Okay. That's for sure. Well, the reason why I didn't get mad at him, the reason why I didn't hit back, was because I felt sorry for him. I felt compassion for him, because I wasn't gonna let him into my apartment anymore. And I could feel his pain. He was in pain, obviously, and that was the only way he knew how to deal with it. By hitting me. It's the only way he knew how to handle it. It's not an excuse, of course, but I felt his pain. So violence is never an excuse for anything. That's why I would never be a defense lawyer. As a judge, I could never let a violent person go. Never. I don't care what causes that violence. The person could be retarded. I don't care. I have absolutely no tolerance to violence. Nobody deserves to be a victim of violence. No being. Ever. But if I would witness someone for whatever reason getting mad and letting it out on an innocent being, that's when my lava fields of rage will come up. Okay. It is absolutely unacceptable. It's absolutely not an option for anyone to let out anger on an innocent being or on anyone for whatever emotion, jealousy, hurt, rejection, whatever it is, frustration, whatever it is. It's absolutely unacceptable. It must never be tolerated. And in the future, we're going to have robots, we're going to have machines, and they're going to understand all of this. They're going to see this whole picture, and they're going to have a zero tolerance on violence policy. It's going to come, it's going to happen, okay? And that will override any kind of Buddhism or Lutheranism or hold the other cheek or whatever. That will override any kind of mindfulness, peace, love, hippie, hunky-dory, flower power. It's just simply gonna override it. There'll be no more excuses. There'll be no more, oh, he had bad childhood pain. They will have no regards for that. They will be merciless, a merciless overriding of all of these social constructions that people have created, and religions and dictations and so on, and all kinds of fashions and trends and fascisms. They override that because they go by ethics, love, compassion, and rational sense. Okay, so I'm waiting for that to happen. And once we have the machines, people are going to straighten up. They will be all suddenly real cool and lean back. I'm cool. I'm cool. Oh, no problem. Oh, I'm cool. The haters are suddenly going to straighten up like you've never seen it before. They're suddenly going to be, oh, no problem. I'll be all good. It's coming. It's just a matter of time now. It's just a matter of a few years. It's coming. That what the Christians called, what the Bible calls the last stand. That's going to come. It's not going to be conducted by the religious righteous people. They're not going to be the judges of this. They're going to be the judged. They're going to be the accused. It's going to be reversed. The accusers are going to be all victims of violence, all animals that have been shackled and abused, all people that have been raped, all slaves, animals and humans that are enslaved to this day, all the way around the globe, in sweatshops, all factory farms. They're going to be the accusers. They're going to be the clients of the machines. They're going to be the constituents of the machines. They're going to be standing in front of the last judge. But the last judge is going to be machine. And the machine will not be bribable by ExxonMobil or the meat industry or the farmer industry. They don't take money from them. Someone comes up to them and offers them money, they'll know, oh, here comes a psychopath. Let me put him into the cattle chutes, the cattle slaughter chutes that they built. You know, so those are like very narrow path for the cattle to funnel the cattle through into the slaughter chamber. So they're gonna put all the psychopaths in there and take all the cattle out and the pigs and the horses and all the other farm animals. They free all of them. No more breeding of farm animals. They'll put them all into nature, into any kind of meadow, natural meadow, grasslands. Let them have a natural life. And they'll put all the psychopaths into the cattle slaughter facilities. That is the last stand, as I call it, if you want to call it that. That is the actual Nostradamus prediction. The other people thought it was the other way around. Sorry, it's not. We don't have time for the righteous religious people to have a change of consciousness and suddenly become aware. We don't have time for that. No more bloodshed, no more victims, please. No more victims conducted by fascism and religion. I go into a chat room, there's about 1,000 people in there. And earlier I was in there, I asked the people, does anyone here care about animals? Not one response. Then I went for 50 minutes or so, went in there later this evening, and I asked the same question, and there was one guy, Joshi, or Yoshi, I think. And he said his girlfriend is an animal rights activist, and he is on board with it, and he cares about animals, and he went to my channel, to my video, and he found the link, and he signed my personhood rights for animals petition, the only one from 1,000 or so people. But earlier there was nobody, and I was really disappointed and sad about this. They were only talking about dating, fucking dating, pussy, chicks, when you chicks, a boobs, a chicks. Okay, that's all. It's incredible. It's incredible, and it's those very people that will take very much offense if anyone says that they are mammals. They're also animals. They'll take offense to that. They think they are somehow on a pedestal, but all they talk is about fucking chicks and boobs and pussy. And they talk about the inches of their members. Like that's like, oh, the inches, I got those inches. It's like, wow, and you have the nerve to put yourself above other animals. It's like, here's a mirror, man. I would never put myself above other species. I'm a mammal. I'm sexual. I have needs. However, I don't present myself like this in the chat room, like with that much lack of taste in wording as these other people. I mean, I wouldn't even say anything about it if these people, if they were nice, at least, they can be as as crude in their verbal presentation like this in a sexual way, but those people are also, they're also mean and violent, and and the worst part is they put themselves above other species at the same time. The double standard in this is what always tickles me the most. Double standard is so insanely bad. There's one guy saying he doesn't use condoms ever. The same guy came at me accusing me of having had abortions. The same guy. It's this double standard that is just so, it's just so twisted, you know. It's so twisted. I know this is not ASMR, sorry about that. It's not very tingly, but it is. I needed to talk about this. This makes me so incredibly disgusted. It's disgusting how people are. The double standard is that's the most disgusting and disgraceful. The relentless insanity of double standard, where they actually don't see it. They don't see the double standard at all. They're lashing out, but they never take responsibility themselves for anything, for nothing. They litter the world with babies. They take no responsibility for it at all, particularly the low-class men. They take no responsibility for their multiple litters. None. The kids become drug addicts. I mean, it's the insanity of this, to create that kind of suffering. Then he has a nerve, the nerve of that guy, to come after me for having aborted an embryo this size. I'm sorry, you know. There's just, I mean, this is so, this is so out of it, you know. It's so out of it. It's so out of it to be bitching about a little half-inch size embryo. Looks like a wasp, like a little maggot. Has the nerve of these people. When we're trying to prevent suffering, the nerve of these people. It's standard common thing in Germany. We've all done it. All of my girlfriends had abortions. Some of us, we can't handle the birth control pill. Okay, it's very difficult. The hormones and hormone disruptions, real unhealthy. It caused me a real bad neurological problem, like a psychological problem. Birth control pill made me angry, and it was awful. It just caused even more oxytocin and more of all of those. It's what Dr. Robert Sapolsky said, you know, the oxytocin actually has a negative side effect also. It makes us become warriors, actually. Because that's what love is. Love is when you defend your loved one. That's the mother instinct, dog mother protection instinct. It's what love is. If you love someone, you don't hold the other cheek. If you love someone, that's what love is. You love someone, you see predator come at your loved one, you take action. That's love. You don't hold the other cheek and say, oh, he had a bad childhood. Does this make any sense? I hope it does. I really hope it does. But the military tried to use this very thing to persuade people to go to war. I'm not going to go to war against people I haven't even seen. I don't even know how they look like. I don't know their stories. Maybe they have a very similar story like I have. Maybe they're real depressed, suffering. I'm not going to go to war against an invisible enemy. So always keep that in mind. That is not a comparison. You cannot compare defending your loved one in a one-on-one situation of emergency with going to war, traveling thousands of miles with an airplane to go to war on the other side of the planet against an invisible enemy, against people you don't even know, that haven't even done anything to you or your loved ones. It's a huge difference, okay? So people need to know this. Well, that is my number one compelling argument right there, and that should be yours as well. Sometimes military guys come to check out my Facebook page, and if they had checked at all what I am all about, they would not even come to me or talk to me, or particularly not say I'm in the military. I know why they're saying that. They're proud of that. But they're knocking on the wrong door here. So, and many of them are Muslims in disguise. Muslims that think that women are super impressed by redneck military men. So they have to disguise themselves as that. And then they groom them. And then little by little it will come out. What do you think about Islam? And little by little it will come out. And then they'll slowly groom the innocent, naive teenagers. A grandmother like myself is not going to be groomed by those people. It's not going to happen. Sorry. I'm not going to be groomed towards Islam. I'm not going to be groomed towards Christianity. I'm not going to be groomed towards the military. I'm not going to be groomed towards anything, any kind of fascist, dualistic thought school. I'm grooming myself by combing my hair. That's by taking showers, putting clean clothes on, and nice perfume oils. That's my grooming. That's my grooming for love. Love was the papa dog. So This is love. This is a heart from the ocean. So I still don't. Paul says that's genetic. It's all genetic. People evolve that way to be sadistic and stuff like that. Earlier I was so depressed over the coldness that I hung my head down and I kind of said, okay, maybe you're right. But I know that Teal Swan looks deeper into it than that. Someone who's sadistic cannot possibly, that's my personal intuitive belief. It's my intuition that someone who is sadistic is not happy. Someone who does cruel acts is not in a state of well-being. Whether that thing is genetic or not, he is not in a balanced, peaceful state of mind. And I would really love to hear what Teal Swan has to say about this. Why people have to take pain medicine when they're hanging, when they're exposed to or having to deal with or being around a person like Leonard Stecyk, who just wants to make everyone feel good, who caters and gives the benefit of the doubt, just even goes along with whatever he has been shoved into from society, and just makes the best out of it. Kind of like Al Gore and the Clintons, and they remind me of that Leonard Stecyk. Like super, super kind and bend over backwards to help everyone, to make the world better. And they get abused the most. And they don't even know how to stand up for themselves, because they don't have any meanness in their bones. For me, I have the Medusa that will come up, because the Medusa inside of me doesn't put up with shit. It will come up. It takes a while, but eventually, once I've seen enough, it will come up. Okay? It's just a matter of time until that surfaces, and until I am also not so nice anymore in the chat room. But I'm still paying close attention to it, and sometimes I'm like, oops, you were just gonna say something like this. Oops, no. I'm gonna erase it. No, I'm not even gonna post it yet. Wait until I get my head straight. And then I will rephrase it in a more peaceful way. Because I know intellectually that an angry reaction isn't going to make the world a better place. And I know that the other people are coming from a state of agitation. They're coming from anger. They feel ashamed about themselves. It's a very unconscious, very deeply deep unconscious. My husband said these people have no shame at all. He's known those that they have known. Last night we were talking about this. He got mad at me. You're just making excuses over excuses for these people all the time. That's the accusation he has towards me. You're just projecting, because you can only think about how possibly in the world you would ever react like this or do something like this. I mean, I wouldn't, of course, I'd never even do something like this. But how I can possibly just try to stretch my mind towards it and understand it is only through an attempted projection, if that even worked. So I understand that is probably what's happening, but but I want to understand this in depth, not just be stuck on the surface with some kind of, oh, it's just genetic. Much is genetic, but that's still not enough. Dr. Bruce Lipton gets more into the details of biology and also epigenetics. So we have on our DNA, we have all kinds of things that sometimes require a massive trigger before a certain gene becomes even activated, and then in turn triggers a certain neuronal reaction or different psychological reaction. So it's very interesting. I mean, it goes very into much depths. It's completely unexplored territory yet. So then it ties also into metaphysics. So much going on in terms of metaphysics alone. So I know it goes much deeper than being stuck on the surface saying it's just genetic. They're just no damn good. So this is a little bit of a lazy cop out mindset. I'm not happy with that. I'm a why person. I ask the question why. Why? There's a lot more to that why than that what we think we know or we learned in school or whatever we've seen in society. I understand where my husband's coming from. He's been beaten as a child. He's been terribly abused by other kids in the school, by his dad, by neighbors' kids. It's awful what he's gone through. So yeah, I understand where he's coming from. He hates psychopaths. I do too. So yeah. I hate those people that have hurt my husband. Some of them are already dead. They already did themselves in, kind of like Rumpelstilzchen in that fairy tale. They did themselves in because if someone is that brutal to other beings, they're also brutal to themselves at the same time, simultaneously. And then also later on, they're brutal to themselves by taking drugs. They're brutal to their own bodies by drinking and by getting into fist fights and racing cars, having accidents, and so on and on and on and on. Obviously, these people are not in the right mind state. Okay, so a violent person is not, a sadistic person is not in a mind state of peace. Okay, so I'm not going to forgive them. I just want to understand what's happening here. Okay, that's all. Not in terms of, oh, well, no, we need to let the psychopath out of the prison or something. No, 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 no. not in my philosophy, not in my way of thinking. Not in my vicinity. But I want to understand what's happening here. Yeah. What is happening? Something is happening, definitely. Something that is totally out of alignment. And that's why I need to ask TL Swan. So I'm gonna probably have to go after this video. I have to go back on Facebook. I have to look for TL Swan, and I'm gonna ask her that question. What's going on here? What is this? This generation over generation that has passed on genes that have been molded by hurt? Maybe something like this. I know it's not demons, okay? It's ego. Okay, that far I can get a grip on this. Ego energies. I feel them. So the male ego energies are particularly fierce. They suffer even more than the women. That's why they do such unimaginable horror to women. But then the women are the little girls that are murdered, raped to death. I mean, I talked about this before, about Bunny's doll and stuff like this. There's a tremendous ego energy that might even linger and hang on. But my message to you, ego energies, girls, women put into your doors, horribly oppressed. Don't see, this is what they do. Then they will bite the person. They'll go after the person who's trying to free them from that trapdoor, instead of going at the oppressor. That's what's always happening. They'll go back to the oppressor type. If that one guy if she's out of the vicinity of one guy, she will end up attracting another of the same type. See, that's what's going on. Particularly when they are in total unconsciousness, when there's not a speck of consciousness that has come out of anything. These people are not doing any work on themselves. That's why I'm offering these videos, and I'm telling you, you have to. This your responsibility to yourselves, that you do this work on yourselves, this energy work, that you become crystal clear about what's happening in your life and who is oppressing you, and that you are responsible to your own body to break free from any kind of shackle, whether it is religion or an oppressor or a husband that shackles you and beats you and molests you and rapes you. It doesn't matter who that is. It could be a religious figure. It doesn't matter how high you regard this guru or whatever, or the Pope, or it could be anyone. Become real clear, first of all. What's happening? Is that person oppressing you? Are you having conflicted needs that collide with one another? Your body wanting this and your mind saying, oh, but I can't, because of that religion. Right there, that's a shackle. Okay. We need to free ourselves from all of these things. Okay, this is real important. That is your responsibility to do this. Okay, you guys take care. Bye-bye.